welcome to the Man United agenda. Before I get into the introductions, you know everyone that's on this screen. Can we just have a look at that Premier League table? Just visualize it in front of you. And tell me, where are Liverpool? Where are Liverpool in relative to Manchester United? Where are they? Let me know in the comments. I want to see where United are relative to Liverpool in the comments. I want to see those comments.
Do you mean the mighty Liverpool, the champions of the Premier League? That team?
Them, yeah.
That one, the one who spent 500 million in the transfer window and bought the team that was going to take them to the double, the treble, and maybe the quad. And the only quad they've done is lose 4 in a row. So, yeah.
You mean the one with the stadium that's like falling apart, but they like to point things at Old Trafford, and it's it's not even the biggest stadium in England. The one with the fans that are always victims and moaning. Yeah, that team.
Yeah, that team.
Yeah.
That team.
No.
No. How you doing that? Joe? Hope you're doing well, man. Big G, we see you in the house. Stephanie, hiya, princess. I hope you're doing well. Who else is in here? What's I miss? Vincent, hope you're doing well, man. Shah, we see you in the house. And that is it for now. Yeah, sorry, Rebel.
I'm just going to say, lads, let's enjoy it. Let's drink it in while we can. But here's an interesting one for you. At the weekend, Manchester United play Nottingham Forest. We could be second in the league going into Sunday.
Oh, Tom. Rebel, why are you doing this to yourself, bro?
Yeah, I'm doing it to myself because I know what's coming. And I'm going to enjoy the few moments that I have with it because, let's face it, there's a long way to own a season. And we might as well enjoy the high points when we have them because it's coming. But let's get into today's topics. So it is officially 1 year, aka 12 months, aka 365 days, since Erik ten Hag was sacked by Manchester United Football Club. So we're going to have a walkthrough the last 12 months and have a discussion on what we think has improved, what we think might have happened if Erik ten Hag was still at the crest of the wave in the managerial position. For example, would he have beaten Tottenham Hotspur in that Europa League final?
We wouldn't have got there with him, Rebel. We would not have got there with Ten Hag.
We'll definitely have a deep dive into it, and then we'll have a discussion as to the current boss, because obviously we've seen pictures of him arrive at Carrington, and we're seeing that smile, that pizzazz, that bit of a roguish nature returning to Ruben Amorim's face, because life feels a lot better when you win 3 Premier League games in a row. It will feel massively better if he wins 4. But we can't ignore the fact that it's been a turbulent 12 months for the club coming up to this point. But I'm going to start with something a little bit quicker, but that's a little bit more interesting. Colin mentioned that we're currently voting for the Man United Player of the Month, the internal one. But Brian Mbumu, I think it was the Telegraph, posted this, is their best signing of the summer transfer window, according to all their sports football writers. Your thoughts, gentlemen?
I'm a bit confused by that. Last week it was the goalkeeper for Man City. I don't know who published it, but there was a different list like that. Best signing, but I think the Athletic. It was the Athletic, and they put up these signings and who they based on value for money and who's produced. It was the goalie, the Italian goalie for Man City. They felt that he was the best signing of the season, and I think all the Man United players weren't nowhere to be seen. But it's funny, ironic, a difference. Say it's difference a year makes since Ten Hag has gone, but a difference a week makes, and now the Telegraph are showing it's Mbeumo who's quality, and he is pound for pound. I think we all love him, what he represents, whether he's player of the month or player of the season so far, as they're trying to say, or the sign of the season. It's lovely to see because it's really refreshing. Like I keep saying about this guy, really refreshing to see his stories rise from lower divisions coming up, and suddenly he gets his move at the right age, mind you, and he's producing the goods, and it can only get better for him because he's a wholesome player, real wholesome player. Reminds me of Salah, the rise of Salah. I'm not comparing them, but Salah came to a big club at a similar age and kicked on because he had that hunger and desire. And I think that's what Mbeumo's got as well. So really, I've never really, he's not the most attractive signing, you know, but he's a wholesome player, and you can see what he's doing, what he gives us with his pace, athleticism, his hold-up plays, link-up plays, shooting ability. He's a nightmare to deal with. So really happy with the signing. And the Telegraph aren't wrong. He looks one of the best value players at the moment, along with Jordan Henderson and who's the guy at Sunderland, the midfielder. Those, I mentioned them the other day. Really good value for money. Xhaka, yeah, they're doing really well for these clubs. So really delighted to see one of our signings getting rated that highly.
Excellent. Now, I just want to touch on a few comments. Andy Williams correctly saying that it's Xhaka. Stephanie Griffiths is saying Mbeumo will easily get 20 Premier League goals if he took out our penalties.
You know what? I think he's going to get them without the pens. I think he will hit 20 without the pens.
Big G is saying I'll only get excited once we go undefeated for 10 or 12 games. I suppose, Big G, take what we were doing with a pinch of salt. We're just enjoying the moment. We do realise it is very much early doors, and we are firmly grounded on the fact that repetition is the best way to get judgment, i.e. seeing good performances week in, week out. Stephanie Griffiths saying arguably the best front three in the Premier League. And
can we just do we have to bypass that question? I'm just thinking potentially, maybe not right now, but potentially I think we do. Mbeumo will hit 20. I'm convinced if he doesn't get injured. I mean, and he's going to be away for the African Cup of Nations, so maybe he doesn't hit the 20. Cunha's bound to get 10. And Sesko, I'm hoping Sesko, I would like to think Sesko would be getting 10 as well. I mean, you look at really, what are we looking at? Salah's fallen off a cliff for Liverpool. TK, what is he, the striker, or is he the left-sided? And then you got what, Gakpo?
Yeah.
Arsenal, Saka, all right. Yeah, Saka, Gyökeres. And who did they play on the left?
Martinelli. He's getting back and forth. But they're playing the Belgian referee, who looks like a bit of referee. What's his name?
Trossard.
Trossard, yeah. He's been playing. So, it's interesting that. It's a good argument. Because remember what Stephanie said, you can make a good argument for that.
Yeah, but I suppose it will come up when we start talking about the things then and now, the last year, because obviously as we know, we sacked Ten Hag a year ago. But before we get into that, please do give us a like, share, and subscribe. We're still trying to get to that 4,000 subscriber mark, and then obviously one of you will get a Manchester United football shirt. So it's absolutely free to do. So please do hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and once we get there, we'll let you know how we're going to give away that jersey. But I want to show a little graphic as part of the 12-month evolution at Manchester United Football Club. Take a look at this for me. 12 months ago, Rasmus Højlund, 5.7. Garnacho, 5.8. Mason Mount was the best of that attacking round at 6.8. And then Anthony was 6.2. This is the last game, obviously, at last weekend. Take a look at Mbeumo, 9.3. Cunha, 8.4. Sechko, 7.6. That is a monumental change between a game 12 months ago and the game last weekend.
So is this your say? This is the game against who did we just beat? My head's gone. Who did we just beat?
I'm blanking myself.
Who did we beat on Friday?
Bogey team Brighton.
Right. So
Or-
is this? So thank you. Is this the Brighton? Is this the team that played Brighton?
That's the team that. Yeah, the bottom three is the team that played Brighton, and the top one is whatever game was on the last game of Eric Ten Hag's career, I believe.
Okay. God, we
Well,
were-
regardless of the score, when I'm looking at the players, you look at Anthony. I mean, he never failed to deceive at Man United. Not suited. Really disappointing. Couldn't score a goal for love of money. And then you got Garnacho, the one so-called wonder kid, who's turned out to be a bit of a brat and not very effective. I thought at some points last season he was one of our most guys who can get in good positions and drive forward, and he's one of those guys who was leading the way in that respect, but he couldn't finish his dinner. And then obviously, Mr. B, you can handle that guy beginning with H minus.
Yeah, I'm glad he's gone. 5.7. I'm surprised it was that high.
Yeah. But I want to get a different angle from you. Garnacho, Højlund, and Anthony are all playing their trade at another club. Obviously, Mount still has a role at Manchester United Football Club. Garnacho now obviously has struggled at Chelsea. He did get a goal at the weekend. Højlund, it looks like they're going to trigger his transfer in January because he's been going so well. And Anthony, I haven't really been keeping track of what he's been doing. But do you think it's the fact that the league is a bit weaker that they've improved, or did Manchester United contribute to their failure?
Look, I think it is quite simple. I mean, the guys that we got now are stronger, more effective, and better players. And everyone says we're comparing because it's been a year since Ten Hag. Anthony's definitely a Ten Hag boy because he played for him at Ajax, and he sort of like done him a favour by bringing him over, giving him a big move. We spent a lot of money on him, and Ten Hag must have thought he can get a tune out of him, and he didn't. And Anthony hasn't got the pace, the electric pace, hasn't got the professionalism, hasn't got the skill to be effective. When you compare him to Cunha, they're both Brazilians. Cunha is a beast of a player, and he rides challenges. And they got, one thing similar about them too, they're both dogs with their attitude. They're both like, little pit bulls. But Cunha's quality just outshines Anthony all round. Even if Cunha can't do that stupid spinning top thing, he's just far more effective. And that goal he scored the other day from, cutting inside from the left and slotting it in the corner, I think Anthony should have been trying to do that, cutting in from the right and slotting things off. But every time he tried to shoot, it was going way over the bar into row Z, and it just wasn't happening for him. So Cunha compared to Anthony is like day and night for me. And then obviously the two strikers, we're seeing Xisco come in now, and he's got more to his game. He's complete all round, and he can do a number of things already that -9 couldn't do. And one of them is score. I'm not going to even talk about his hold-up plays better, his heading's better, his link-up plays better. He's got assists already to show for that. And his movement and understanding, his shooting is better, his passing, everything about him is better. And he's very, when you talk about the amount of money you spend on players, we made mistakes under Ten Hag. Ten Hag put trust in players that we spent big money on that failed to do the business. And that will be, even though it's not him making the signings, but that will be under his reign. And that's why he probably got sacked in the end. And he's probably looking at these guys thinking, my gosh, I made a big boo-boo there by having faith in them. So Ten Hag, I think, is a good manager. His stock, you don't lose your stock.
He's not a good manager. He got sacked from Leverkusen after 2 games. He's not a good manager.
Well, what he did at Ajax still stands up, I think, for what he did at Ajax. And I think he's still got a reputation, but it's been kind of tarnished by the Man United and Leverkusen failures, apparently. So, Yeah, I think in the future, if he gets a good job somewhere, and punches above his weight, I think that's where he can really prove that he's got something about him. I still have faith in him. I still like him. I've read his book, as you know, and I think Ten Hag. I do think it was the right decision to sack him a year ago. And even though we've gone downhill, and taken steps backwards, we're now hopefully seeing that it was a good decision a year on, because it's good to reflect and look back and say to ourselves, oh, actually, halfway through last season when we were losing all those games and we're down, and the way we finished in the league, Ten Hag won us 2 trophies. But we must be thinking, would we take Ten Hag back? Is Amarin a fraud? And those questions were asked, and people were actually speaking it from their mouth. But now, hopefully, we're seeing, okay, that little dip is over, and that investment long term to get Amarin in and to get his own players in and get him to a little playing style that takes some time. Hopefully, we're seeing the results of that now. So I think it's the right decision a year ago to get rid of Ten Hag.
Absolutely. Some very interesting points there. Let me just touch on these comments very quick. We have 3 things to worry us. We still get overrun in central midfield, depth up front, i.e. outside of the main 3, and Dalot. After Dalot, the wingbacks are iffy after Ahmad. So he's saying that basically Dalot is poor there.
I mean, with that, we can't buy everything and everybody. Let's hope that they don't get injured. That's more. Everybody's saying, oh, if they get injured, if they get 1 game a week, they might not get injured. Obviously, we know Mount only has to look out the window and he's going to get injured. But the rest of them, Cunha plays the whole season. And Mbemo plays the whole season. If they get injured, what if they don't get injured? Then it's not a problem. We deserve better. I had a comment. Sorry, I've got to get up. He said, without, where is it? Without, he named 5 or 6 players. Here we go. Take out Cunha, Bremo, Sesko, Lemons, Dilly, and Ahmad. And we are up shit creek. Bloody hell. That's the best players. Any team who loses their 6 best players is going to be up shit creek. We deserve better.
Where's Yoro? Where's Yoro? We deserve better. You can't leave out the Mercedes.
See, so there's 7. We're not going to lose all 7 of them, surely. We've got some rubbish, but maybe it'll come. I'm waiting for the day we deserve better, says Amarin in. I'm not sure it's ever going to come, but I'm waiting.
I think you might have touched on this yesterday, but I was looking at a stat. Games with Casemiro playing, 3 goals conceded. Games without Casemiro conceded, but without Casemiro playing, we've conceded substantially more. Does that tell you how much we were relying on a man that probably got 65 to 70 minutes in his legs every game? Because
that's increased now, Rebel. A few weeks ago, you said it's only 50 minutes.
Well, over the last couple of games, he's shown us that he's lasting a bit more. So,
can I just say, Casemiro, we go look at this recent game. Don't disrespect a world-class player, someone who was considered a world-class player. The other day when we were playing against Brighton, they whipped in a wicked ball into the box, maybe from a corner or set piece. Guess who was there? Because Harry Maguire weren't playing. Guess who was there to have a brilliant header clearance? It was Casemiro. We're quick to criticise, but you've got to sort of, look at all the positives that he has in the game, and he's got a big influence. He's got experience. And one thing is he's great at heading, whether it's scoring goals or defensively as well. And he gets in around. I know he gets a booking. I think he got a booking the other day, didn't he? For sliding in or doing a professional foul on somebody, stopping them from breaking. Yeah, we know his limitations, but I always like to big up the positive things he did. And that header he did the other day, I was like, well done. Because that could easily, because he's gone in the danger zone, that could easily have turned out bad for us. And who else is standing up to do those things? The basics, heading, tackling, all that. He's there and responsible for that. So a lot of criticism he's had, but fair enough.
look at the clean, Yabba. But
it's okay. Look, Andrew Williams is one of the most negative people that I know on this channel. Andrew likes to point fingers.
I'm going to have to push you down.
Always look for receipts.
You say that, but haven't you seen? Listen, if you see some of the comments that Andrew's making, there's a lot of positivity now about what he's saying.
No. My point is, he wants to look for receipts. He will quickly pull up.
See,
Do you remember back in 1984
Yeah, but
when you said,
I'm going to have to make you answer the question. Did you or did you not write off Casemiro this time last year?
this time last year?
Did you write him off?
I think if I remember rightly, you two, because you love your
Give
January
me-
window
I
transfer.
want a yes or no answer.
No.
Did you
Let's
or
just
did
get
you
right.
not write off Casemiro?
I will answer. I do recall that I was saying long term we need to start considering getting rid of this guy because the wage bill and he's not going to get any better. So
And
I would have said that.
Did
maybe
you or did you not give your co-host at the time, Darius, grief over Mr. Casemiro and his position in midfield? Answer the question, Mr. Yaba. Did you or did you not do this?
No comment.
Oh, there we have it, folks. He is trying to be Pontius Pilate and wash away any sins from him.
Where's your receipts, Andrew? Where are your receipts?
Yeah, yeah, he was done for me. There was a lot of players who were done for me. But it's we're not playing through midfield now. We're whacking the ball over it and picking up the rest. So maybe that benefits us, that suits us and the formation we're playing. But yeah, look, he's done well, but let's be honest. Did anybody think Casemiro? I mean, Agate is dead food, so he has to be playing. It's just a good job that he's actually playing well while he's playing. Because every time Agate comes on the pitch, we die.
Yeah. Always gets booked, and I don't know if you've.
And that's the other problem. Can we trust Casemiro to not get 2 yellows in a game?
Do you remember that time he strung up Will Hughes, and got sent off for that?
I'm going to interject here on this front because I want to stay on topic. We are looking at the last 12 months since Eric Ten Hag was sacked. Something that has changed is the recruitment. This year we brought in Le Mans and the 3 boys up front. The last summer we brought in players, and is there any of them that you can recall actually still making a start from last summer's transfer window?
No, not really.
Upgrades.
Is there any of them still at the club?
Euro.
Was Euro last year or the year before?
Euro was last summer. Yeah, he came in last summer.
No. Ain't Euro been with us? Was it last summer he came in? Are you sure?
Yeah, it was last summer he came.
No. Summer before. Euro's been with us.
Came under Ten Hag last summer. And then he got injured for a period of time.
Oh, that's why.
Right. Okay, yeah, that's why then. Yeah, he wasn't playing. All right, fair enough.
The Grunus crocked him. That's right.
Yeah, so you're right. It's only Euro was a good signing from last season. But wasn't it under the Glazers? So not the Glazers, under Ineos. That's window last summer. That was Ineos.
Yeah, because the first signing was Agate, innit?
Right. Yeah.
So,
here we go. Look, here we go. Mazen Delit as well.
So these are Ten Hag signings. Obviously, they're Ten Hag boys again, but those two survived. They're especially
but they're top draw players, though. Let's be honest. They're top players. It's going to take a lot. It's going to take one hell of a defender to shift Delit, and Mazraoui, wherever he plays, he's good. So
bearing that in mind, taking in Delit, taking in Maz, taking in Euro, that's 3 successful purchases last summer. And we have now got another 4 that we're hoping will be equally successful. That's 7 of your 11 players, technically speaking, if you're looking at your squad. So that leaves you with your wing backs and
Ahmad stays. Well, Ahmad stays.
Does Ahmad move back into the 10 though if we get some proper
No. Look, football's about partnerships and combinations. We're right side strong because we've got Ambuemo and Ahmad playing out on that side. You don't see them when they were vibing, doing their little dance in the changing room. They're proper brethrens. They're
Yeah.
proper brethren. So no, I'm not interested in anybody coming in and playing right wing back. I'm interested in cover for Ahmad, as in getting rid of Delo. And I'm interested in sorting out the central mid. Ahmad, are you crazy? No. And the fact that he runs back and does the defensive side of it as well, then I'm all for that.
Yeah, it's really interesting when you watch games. Ahmad gets a lot of possession, so you might think, "Oh God, I'm playing right back or I'm playing right wing back." It's not actually the case. He gets in such good positions high at the pitch where he's in a danger area, and he gets a lot of space as well. When we switch to play, he gets the opportunity to get a lot of space on the ball. Might not be as high up as he maybe wants it to be, but a little link up with the triangle of him, Yoro, and a midfielder, and then obviously Mbemo. He can make things happen. So he's getting a lot of love in certain good positions when we got possession.
I just did a bit of skullduggery there. Take no note of me.
We didn't.
Bart, that was for you, bro. But right, let's talk about the other improvements. Have we seen a style of play being developed under the new manager? Because week in, week out, people are complaining about the lack of style of play under Eric Ten Hag. Can we say that that's now been established 12 months down the line under Ruben Amorim?
Yeah, but how long has it taken? We're talking like this was a straight switch. It wasn't a straight switch. Let's be honest. Last season, he stank of shit. If he had got sacked, nobody on here would have moaned. Well, Yabba probably would have done, to be fair. But, you know, he lost. He finished, what, 16th, 15th? So it's only this season, and this season is 8 games old. Because pre-season, we weren't good. And let's be honest, we were good in the Chelsea game. When we were good in the Arsenal game. But the next 2 games after that, we weren't that great. So it's only this little, maybe 7-game period where you can start saying, okay, we're seeing a style of play, we're seeing things working. And what he's done, he's now adapted to, all right, his formation is the same, but we can all see that the ball goes straight over to Sesko or straight up the top, and we're fighting to win the second ball, which we are doing. Great, no problem. But to say that we've seen a style, last year was terrible. Let's not forget how bad last year was. You know, we didn't want to come on, we didn't want to come on the douche. I didn't want to talk Man United. You know, and I love Man United, but I didn't want to talk about them. So I think it's only since the last maybe 7 games where we can say that we've seen a style of play, or maybe it's a style of play that we're happy with. You know, and a style of play that he's adapted certain things to. But as I said, I think it's only 5 or 6 or 7 games.
Yeah, look, we're reviewing a year of Amorim and style of play and that kind of thing. Yeah, we've been criticised and critiqued for it, but because we're on a good run and we've seen a bit better performance, nothing's changed. And people say, "Oh, he has to change something. He has to go back to 4 in the back or 3 in midfield," and all this stuff was coming out like they're experts. This man is convicted. He knows what he wants. He's stuck with it. And you have to be persistent with things. When the pressure is on for him to change, he said, "No, I'm standing firm with what I know and what I believe will happen." And he talked about the storm, obviously, to come. And he said things will improve. So he was aware that, you know, with time and patience, which he asked for in that speech at the last game of the season, you know, he said, with time and patience, we will turn this around. And we're starting to see it now. So everyone who threw doo-doo at him and we're booing him and trying to get him off stage, everything else, take that back and have a look and enjoy the football now, but just have a bit of pride in and patience in the manager. He's clearly qualified. He's clearly got something about him, and it's starting to show, you know, with the right personnel and a bit of time to adapt to something. We're starting to see a run of games and performances which is really, you know, an improvement of what we did last season. So fair play to the manager. I don't want him to go grey or have all that pressure. Take the pressure off him. I know it's a results game and everything else, but if we really want to win, and we be honest with this, guys, if you really want to win and be successful, it's not about quick fix. It's about the long game. We've seen that with other managers as well. Even Pep couldn't come in with after dominating in Bayern Munich and dominating in Barcelona with all the great resources and players he had. He couldn't walk into Man City, who had great players, and win straight away either. You know, so it takes time, and this is where fans need to be a bit more patient with management and think, right, we want long-term success. We need to really sit down, get with the program, and watch us grow.
Yeah, it's interesting what you say about managers. I'm seeing some very hot-blooded reactions to Arne Slot, and they're calling him the wish version of Ten Hag. But that's another story, and that's coming from that percentage of football fans that we wish weren't in our fan bases. We all have them. But let's take some comments. It took this man 35 games to win back-to-back. Very true. Andrew Williams is saying it's easy to look fluent when you have a guy like Cunha that can beat a man, and then Mbeumo who has pace and runs for fun. Let's not sleep on Ruben's weaknesses just yet. He's also complimenting Sesko on his ball-winning ability. And can I just say he's leaping and he's jumping. Holy hells. That man is different gravy. I'm happy at the moment, says Bilal, but we can't afford to get carried away. Stephanie Griffiths has purged last season from her mind.
It never happened.
We deserve better. 11 wins in 36 games, 31 win rate. Percent win rate. He needs to do better.
Says we deserve better.
Wise United fans saying, thanks to Le Mans. In goal, we have picked up points. Bindayer and Banana Head cost us points. We have goals in us this year. That's a big difference. We could get 60 plus, which we've been struggling to get. Here. Delict is saying, or Andrew is saying that Delict is showing real leadership. Dermot is saying, how do you do? So, hi Dermot, I hope you enjoyed your stream. I know you were live there just before us. Obviously, if we beat Forest, Spurs is haircut gate for a certain Man United fan called the United Strand, who's currently collecting money for charity. So shout out to him. He's taking a bit of fun and he's doing some good work with it. Rivals will fear our firepower again, and that makes a huge difference. Dur is also a new member. I'm pretty sure he was a member before, but he's back again. And that brings me now to Mr. Gallagher. Obviously now, 12 months down the line, we addressed the forward line. And it looks like for the better. We have two very promising centre-backs in Yarrow and Delict that we feel that we could possibly have in place for a couple of years. There might be a vacancy depending on how fit Martinez can get on that left side. Hopefully, Martinez comes back and is the carrier.
Heaven, don't forget Heaven. Let's not forget about Heaven.
Yeah, that's very true. He had an assist last day, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
So that's a good shout. Let's hope he develops and that Martinez is fit enough, long enough for him to carve his path into that back three. But the sights now seem to be turned on central midfield. Conor Gallagher, I think the price that was mentioned by the Spanish publication was £40 million. It's very much early doors BS level script writing by the tabloids. But all that aside, does Conor Gallagher give you the type of tingling feeling that we'd have a top quality centre midfielder if he was the one that we went to over, say, a Wharton, an Anderson, or anybody else that you can think of that would possibly be signable by Manchester United Football Club?
Does he play like Casemiro? That's, I'm looking at a young Casemiro type player. That's, obviously Casemiro's doing his job. I don't see getting around the pitch. Yes, I understand he can get around the pitch, but his ball quality is not that good. It's like buying another Agate. No, I'm not feeling Conor Gallagher. One. If they can get him on loan for 6 months without an obligation to buy, fine, maybe do that and cover half of his wages or something. But he can't pass. He can't pass. Midfielders need to be able to pass. And no, I'm not feeling him at all. One bit.
I'm feeling him. I think he's a quality player. I really do think he's good. One thing I remember when Kieran Trippier went over to Atletico Madrid and played under Diego Simeone, coming from Tottenham or wherever he's playing at the time, and he said he improved him as a player overall. It gave him more understanding of the game, the training, the defensive side of the game, understanding. And for Conor Gallagher, I think it's the same for him. He's come from the Premiership, gone over to play. Great, valuable experience for him playing under Diego Simeone in that midfield, the way they play, different defensive situations. He's going to be elite with his mindset and how with his mindset, with his aggression and understanding the game management, defensive positioning, and how to run a midfield, So I think it's worth taking a punt on as long as we understand, like Mr. B said, all right, he's not the complete midfielder, he's not going to spray balls around the park like Scholes or whatever. But what he does do, he does really well. And he knows the Premiership as well. So I wouldn't write that off. I think it's a good opportunity to get someone in who's got valuable experience and could really show something at a club. Here we go. You were waiting, weren't you? Guys, if you don't know, backstage on a private chat, they said earlier, yeah, we're going to get him. We're going to get him today. We're waiting for him to say something stupid. Guys, if you think, so let's just clear this up. If you think I'm talking mess, that Conor Gallagher hasn't gained valuable experience playing under Diego Simeone at Atletico Madrid and could come back to the Premiership with that added experience and with the physicality and the running power that he has and dominance, that he would be a good fit. And I'm talking rubbish. Let me know in the comments now. Am I talking rubbish? Would you sign Conor Gallagher? Do you think he's improved as a player?
Pay money for him. Pay money for him or get him on the loan.
40 million would be a great signing for him. We're looking at all these other players, but have they got the experience, value experience that Conor Gallagher's got? I think he's gone out there and really rejuvenated himself. It's just the problem is we're living in this Premiership bubble. We don't get to see him week in, week out playing.
Does he get in the team? Does he get in Atletico's starting team?
Get the stats up. I know he hasn't started every game. Get the stats up. It'd be interesting to see.
But £60 million is what's been quoted allegedly. Does that represent value for money?
Yeah, I think so.
So you're quite happy considering that we absolutely face planted in to a steaming pie of doo-doo with Ugarte to risk that again have £120 million worth of doo-doo stinking up our squad.
So Rebel, do you agree with what I'm saying? Do you think he's gained valuable experience playing under Diego Simeone? Do you think that makes him a better player? Do you remember when Paul Ince went to Inter Milan? He said the same thing. He said, I played my best football in Inter Milan and I realised I wasn't half the player I was when I was at Manchester United. It really increased my ability to have that experience. And I think these things can't be written off. I think Conor Gallagher, you don't know. He could come back as a class player with good mind.
9 games.
This season, he's played 10 games. Last season, 32 games. That suggests to me he's really highly rated by the manager.
Let's have a look and see if there's any reference to numbers a minute.
Yeah, there might be sub appearances.
Let's have a quick look here now.
Yeah, because we want to prove you wrong. We really want to prove you wrong.
We'll keep digging, guys. Keep digging. We're going to be here all night, but I just want an apology.
Somebody divide 1,633 minutes by 32 games.
Hold on. Where's my fucking calculator?
All right. Maybe Conor Gallagher wants to get back into England contention because he's not seen,
What was that number, Rebel? What was that number you had? 51 minutes-ish. There you go, Andrew's got it.
So what are you suggesting here?
not suggesting anything. He either starts games or doesn't finish. 40 minutes. He's a man. He's not even starting for them.
Does that?
I don't want to read it. I want.
What's the conclusion
He's
of
better
that
than
then?
Agate. He's better than Agate.
Yeah.
But my granny's better than Agate. That's the problem. That is the problem.
He's not. I'm really surprised. I hadn't considered him, but now that he's, been brought to our attention, we have to really, can't just write it off and say he's not good. He wants to get back into World Cup contention next season. He's not been seen playing for Atletico Madrid. So coming back to the Premiership would be a good move for him.
What?
Just
So you think him coming back in January gets him into the World Cup?
If he starts playing regular football for Man United, which is
how's he going to start? How's he going to start over Casemiro?
I think just from his work rate ability, the fans would demand it after a period of time.
Oh my! You serious? So the way Casemiro's been playing this season, you would take him out and put Conor Gallagher in there?
I think it's all about squad, isn't it? When we look at you just mentioned the competition for Casemiro at the moment is Ugarte. You've mentioned Conor Gallagher is better than Ugarte, which means he will be closer to a starting spot than Ugarte is at the moment. Casemiro is strolling out there.
Ugarte's level is so low, bro. It is so low.
Yeah, exactly. So Casemiro is laughing at the moment because he's thinking, I've got no one to compete with me. But as soon as Conor Gallagher comes into the side, that's someone who, I've got a bit of competition now.
Oh, yabba dabba do. Yeah. Here's the question, though.
We deserve better.
From Sporting Lisbon, Martin Humland, pardon me if I haven't pronounced that correctly, is believed to be available for half that price. And Colin was also mentioning Stiller, and it sounds like Stiller plus Humland would be equivalent to maybe 10 million more than just buying Gallagher on his own. Surely that makes more sense. You're getting two darts for the price instead of one.
Not really.
Problem with that, though. I agree, yes. Mbeumo and Cunha are Premier League proven. Let's buy Premier League proven, please. Please, let's get Premier League proven. Let's not. Stiller looks great. Fine, these stats are fantastic. And who else was the other one?
Humland,
who plays in Portugal, right?
Correct.
Bruv, nah, man. Give me a Premier League player, man. If we buy a Premier League proven player and one of them, man, there, then fine. But let's not. No. It takes them too long to settle in. I want a Premier League proven. Central. I see. Look, that may well go back to Conor Gallagher. But if that's what it is, that's what it is. If he comes, I'm not gonna cuss him. But I want Premier League proven, man. Not none of this. Amrin's played with them before. I can't bloody see what the hell that says.
Isak is Premier League proven too.
You know what? It's definitely look, but yeah, oh god. Yeah, I get that. All right, okay. Thanks, Steph, for shouting me out.
We deserve better Vincent Bullock saying we deserve better, don't you know? Oh, he's just talking. We deserve better. Johnny Hill, Gallagher got no chance of competing, to be honest. What we would be doing is getting What we should be doing is getting Wharton and then offering Casemiro a new contract and reduce wages. The Portuguese league is completely different. It's like the Scottish league for F's sake. Tactical Devils is saying it's pronounced Uelman.
Oh, is it? Uelman. We better not be getting in then. Yeah, but be finished.
Thank you very much for that.
Thanks for that, for Jarvis. Uelman. Oh, jeez.
I think it's a big mistake going for this Lugman, or whatever his name is. I don't think he
like Yul Brennan.
Yeah, I don't think he can transfer what he's doing in Sporting to the Premier Leagues altogether. Because otherwise, he would have been on the radar of other big clubs already as a main guy. We're talking about what we want to achieve in the future. We want proper players, proper players, like Mr. B said, that can come in and deliver. And the evidence of that is what we've seen with the signings this year with the two, Mbeumo and Cunha. They've delivered in the past and in the Premiership, and there's no risk there because already they're doing it. It's like, strolling in and just what's it all about? You know what I'm saying? There's no issues for them at all. So yeah, I'm not so sure. There's a question mark about them, and for me, no question mark about Conor Gallagher. I really would consider him. Likewise, I would consider Wharton and Elliott as well, and Beleva, because they've all got proven Premiership ability.
Yeah, no, it's definitely interesting times ahead. People are mentioning the likes of Tyler Adams at Bournemouth, and who else are they saying? Bakur Kamara of Villa, Onana of Villa.
Onana's playing really well. I like him. He bossed the game.
Palini is only on loan to Tottenham, and he's getting a season under his belt.
Yeah, we ain't gonna go in. Tottenham would be stupid not to get a deal done for him in January. I think he's been immense for them.
Obviously, there's the obvious one in Wharton, Tonali, Guimaraes, Moises obviously is at Chelsea, Gravenberch's Liverpool, so that doesn't matter. But yeah, no, there's a few options there that the likes of your Whartons, your Paulinias, and et al. So it'll be interesting to see what does transpire as we move forward into the January window. But that does leave me with my last question. Obviously, there's still quite a few games going into that window. We now know the games that Messrs. Mbumu, Ahmad, and Maz are going to miss.
That's if they get all the way to the final, right? Yes,
correct.
We got the 20 likes. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
That is correct. There's obviously going to be, hopefully, Cameroon will be sent home fairly quickly.
They got an honoring goal, bruv. How long are they going to last? 4 games? 3 games?
Let's hope that they'll be sent home nice and promptly and back in line for Manchester United. But let's ask the big question. What position in the league do Ineos, Sir Jim, and the management team have to sit down in January and look at opportunity at the risk of lowering what they spend in the summer? Where do you think they might say, okay, we're in this position now, we're at the turning point of the year, do we overpay in January to get result A?
We always overpay, Rebel. We always overpay. For us to go into January and overpay, we don't need to. We do need to. I think we do need somebody in. I do think we need somebody in, but let's not do that whole overpaying thing. And then the player comes in and then he stinks and then we're in trouble again. They've done it right so far. All right. Well, not right because they didn't get the central midfielder. But everything else seems to have been okay. I just don't want them to go out there and spunk summer money on something that might not work. I mean, it might work. It might work. But if we're in, if we're around 6, then I think they probably need to just sprinkle a little bit of cash somewhere and maybe bring in a player or two. Whether it's loan with, somebody who wants to come to us, not one of these players who are looking to get into the World Cup and then they get in the World Cup squad and then, and then they're rubbish. No, somebody who they know maybe wants to come to us, maybe move a summer transfer target forward, maybe, somebody, but I don't want to overspend.
Would you do that in January?
Let's have a look. I can't see a bloody thing of these glasses.
No way.
Shit. What did I miss?
Loan Beleva.
Loan Beleva with option to buy, but Mainu be sent on loan the other way.
No, Mainu stays. We've already announced Mainu's going to stay.
But you say that.
Yeah.
Mainu's not playing.
He's getting game time.
Yeah, but if we could get a starter in for Casemiro, I would do that deal. I would do that.
I think if we're sniffing around the top four, like as we are now, like a few points off it, then you've got to invest and try to say, right, we've increased that much. We've got to invest. Like, remember Pochettino was doing really well for Spurs, and they wouldn't invest in him, and then it got to the point where they just collapsed, and then they couldn't sustain that. So I do think that you make a good argument that if we are sniffing around the top four, you maybe look into getting someone in. But I don't think spending big money in January is the solution. I think sometimes you have to look at loan deals. There's players out there that can come in and do a job on a loan. A bit like Amrabat or whatever. I'm not saying him, for example, but he was brought on loan, wasn't he? Because we thought, okay, he got some game time. He's got a bit of experience as well. So I just think you need to strengthen what we've got. We've got a good first team. We're improving all the time on the pitch, under training. We're getting better and better. So rather than bringing a sure starter, I think you have to consider getting in a squad player without spending too much money, a loan player, and who can come in and just top up what we've got at the moment.
What would be the loan player's motivation to come?
Well, motivation is to play for Man United Football Club.
No, I understand. I understand that, but if it's a loan and it's 6 months, unless there's what you say, you dangle a carrot being dangled, they might just come and suck up the money.
Well, it's there. If you've got any pride as a footballer, you don't want to be on the bench. You want to play. So if you've got an opportunity, who is the guy, the Nigerian guy, striker, who played for us from Watford? He was a Man United.
Yeah, I know you're talking about.
You know, or whatever his name is. Yeah, you remember him?
Somebody will tell us.
Yeah, he was a Man United fan, so he was happy to come, and that was the highlight of his whole career. He had opportunity like that, you know, to play. So I just think getting a loan in. Look, we got Weghorst in before under Ten Hag. Now we might say he's poor, but that's the sort of standard he wasn't going to start for us, but he's going to come on and cause problems. This guy scores 2 goals coming on in the World Cup. Do you understand what I'm saying? He's got something about him. Even the other day, he's still playing football now. I think for Ajax or one of the teams there. So I just think when we really look at it, don't splash out and bruck up your budget. You just have to. Is that about the Weghorst thing? Is that about the Weghorst? Yeah. That's an example. Weghorst is an example. Someone who's not a first team starter, but he comes on and he can do something, you know, just to add, just to top up what we've got. So maybe Xisco is playing and Xerxes gets injured or something. We need to bring someone in to back up that position, you know, just to top up the first team that we have at the moment. And that's what I'd be looking to do, for a bit of insurance.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to briefly mention this. It came up by The Athletic in the last 35 minutes. It's not related to Manchester United, but it will affect Manchester United Football Club. Football lawmakers have discussed the possibility of extending the cursed VAR to reach in when an incorrect yellow card is doled out. After its introduction for punishing a goalkeeper for holding on to a ball for longer than 8 seconds, which now results in a call being awarded to the opposition, they've also debated whether to apply a similar style countdown to other parts of the game, such as goal kicks and throw-ins. But it looks like they're trying to extend VAR's reach. Maybe a topic for Mr. B.
They can't even get what they're supposed to get VAR right. You understand? Why are they now trying to branch out to be doing other things? Get what you can do right first. They've got their fingers in so much batty holes at the moment. Just concentrate on one. Get it right and then move on to something else. It's ridiculous.
It's little things, isn't it? There's so many things that go on in the game. It's like, Mr. B, I don't know if you noticed, like, refs on our amateur football, the 6-second rule, or is it the 8-second rule? When it
8-second rule, yeah.
And now the referee has to be calling it out. 5, 6, 7, you know.
Our players we've got players doing it on the pitch, to be fair.
Oh, really?
Yeah. We got players doing it on the pitch. And then their goalie don't know what's going on. Yeah, you're going to give us a corner, bro. You do it 3 times instead of, what is it, a yellow card? I mean, it's ridiculous. It's a ridiculous rule, but if it's there, you take advantage of it, innit?
I do think, like, with most sports, when you got referees, you have to give them the respect that they deserve. And the VAR thing is sort of undermining referees. And sort of taken over a bit, you know, like AI is taking over. People don't write essays anymore. You know, if you're a student, you go to AI and let Chat GPT or whatever it is write your essays. I watched the boxing at the weekend. Harold Foster stopped a fight with Wardy
I'm
and
going to stop you right there.
and I'm thinking, that's the referee. If you go to take that to VAR would say he wasn't ready to be stopped. You know what I'm saying? So it's a tough one, but I just think as we want the game to be fair, but VAR's come in. It's a huge thing. It's taken a lot out of football, I believe, with reactions and when you score, just offsides that we wouldn't really question in the past. It's the main thing for me is like I remember when Frank Lampard scored in the World Cup for England against Germany, which would have got us back in the game, and it went over the line and it wasn't given, you know. But in the same way with Roy Carroll against Spurs, we had that as well. So, but it's very rare that used to happen. But now they're trying to eliminate that from the game. But like Mr. B's saying, there's still decisions that you're still like, hold on a minute, VAR looked at it and they didn't give it or something like that, you know. So it's crazy. If you look at Formula One at the weekend, Hamilton got a 10 points penalty, 10-second fine or 10-second penalty for something that was just, you know, they made a decision on. The stewards had to look at it and said, oh, actually, you know, and that's for their own discretion, I believe. So, yeah, it's silly.
I'm going to come in there. I think this is probably a discussion that we could end up spending a whole night on. The general feeling is that VAR needs to be used every time you have a speaks for a ruling on the field. Robot refs is a big no-no, says Eddie's Football Waffle, and welcome in Eddie's Football Waffle also. And malfunctioning robot refs, Eddie, imagine. But we have been going on for nearly an hour now. But to close the show, without even commenting on it, I'm going to leave this graphic up here. Colm might want to talk about it come the preview show or the live watch long on Saturday. But we have been the Man United Agenda, and from us, it is a very good night. Glory, glory.